Okay, good morning, everyone. Just give it 1 minute while people come into the room here. Awesome. Okay, well, welcome everybody. For those of you that don't know us, we're the Sandal from Capital team, a pre-seed and seed stage VC firm based in Chicago and focused primarily on the Midwest. We launched Midwest.tech Connect last summer, partly in response to COVID-19, but really to take advantage of the chance created from the emerging sort of virtual event technologies to get everyone in one place. We talk a lot about manufacturing serendipity and connecting the dots, and we've really seen the value of getting a critical mass of startups and investors in one place. I really wanted to do something at a large scale for the region. Last time in September, our pilot event, we had almost 300 investors and 850 startups signed up. And we're up to over 600 registrants already for this one. So really excited. We have a month to go until the event itself. And the registrants are really, pre-seed to Series A stage startups, VCs, angel investors, lenders, and revenue-based financing options, incubators and accelerators. So we've broadened the scope this event beyond just startups and VCs. As we'll talk about, we have some great programming coming up pre-event. The event itself is really focused on making connections through quick virtual one-on-one meetings. This may be an initial touch point in some cases, or an opportunity to catch up with existing relationships for others. Some of you will be actively raising money. Some of you might be road testing your pitch ahead of your raise and getting some feedback. These are all great reasons to participate, and hopefully you'll get some real benefit out of it. Please help us get the word out. We really want as many pre-seed and seed stage VCs and angel investors in particular. We want to make sure every startup sort of gets plenty of meetings. You can forward our emails. You can like and retweet our posts at midwest.tech on Twitter, or share our posts on LinkedIn. We're at midwest.tech with a period in the middle. Yeah, let's get into it here. So just to run through some key dates. If you're watching this, you've likely already registered. We do have a finite amount of slots available for each attendee type to ensure a well-balanced event, and won't accept any new registrations after March 15th. So we're really trying to get everyone signed in the next week or two so everyone has a good experience and plenty of time to connect. So the sooner you get people involved, the better. And then the sooner you log in and create your profile, the more meaningful the meeting request will be. We're encouraging everyone to log into the platform before March 1st, and then we'll really sort of encourage people to start setting meetings from that date onwards. But it's going to be an ongoing process as soon as you get in and create your profile and up until the event. So we will be sending out the invitations from our event portal, Deal Room, which you'll hear more about shortly. That will go out tomorrow, and then you can get in. The meetings will take place on March 23rd to 25th. You can set your availability. If you have lots going on and you can only spare a few hours of meetings, you can set up that way. If you want to stack your meetings sort of back to back for the full 3 days, then that's great as well. You can also sort of pull in colleagues to sort of take your spot if you need to divide and conquer. And then the event will culminate in a virtual sort of cocktail reception, I guess, on March 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. Central. This won't be Zoom breakout rooms. This is going to be another platform called gather.town, where people have a chance to connect in a similar way to a networking reception, organized around common areas of interest, but in a free-flowing way. So look out for more details on that. That'll only be open to people who registered for this event. Thank you to our sponsors. This event wouldn't be possible without them. Beyond supporting the cost of this event, they're actually playing a key role in getting the word out as well, and are just generally super helpful in making connections. They'll all be participating in the event, so please make sure you do take a chance to meet with them. You'll find them all very, very helpful. And thank you also to a new category we created this time, community partners. So these are incubators, accelerators, and entrepreneurship support organizations across the region. Again, they'll be participating in the event, so please sort of look out for them, connect with them. You can find the full list of them so far at midwest.tech/partners, and look out for them on the event platform. Okay, so here's the event programming list. So these are going to be basically 1-hour sessions, once or twice a week, really focused on actionable content for founders. There's enough sort of fluffy, sort of long fireside chats. Like those are great, but we're trying to keep this really focused and sort of actionable. So coming up at noon Central Time today, there's Pitching 101. That's in conjunction with the Polsky Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. They actually have a whole series of events called Entrepreneurship Essentials. So we teamed up with them for Pitching 101. The presenters will be Star Marcello. She's Deputy Dean for MBA programs and the Adjunct Associate Professor of Entrepreneurship at Chicago Booth School of Business. And she also leads the College New Venture Challenge class and pitch competition. So definitely a pro in terms of seeing lots of pitches and helping train people on their pitches. And she'll be joined by Nick Hamburger. He's the co-founder and CEO of Quavos. They won the College New Venture Challenge. They won a spot in the Kraft Heinz Accelerator. He's raised 2 rounds of financing from VCs and angels. They've secured shelf space in Whole Foods, other retailers, and then recently appeared on the current season of Shark Tank and secured investment from the Kind Snacks founder, Daniel Levetsky. So lots of great experience there. On March 2nd at 12 p.m. Central, we have a session on product management. So product management obviously sort of foundational to the success of your startup. We'll have a range of practitioners, some folks that are sort of product managers that have worked at a range of startups, like Claude Simius. We have the product lead from Cameo, Eric Metelka, and Layla Sudar, VP of Customer Experience and Product at Tuvala, who just raised a $30 million Series B. And finally, John Siegler, who's Chief Product Officer and co-founder at Logigate. So they're a B2B SaaS company. He's been Chief Product Officer from the raise start, and they've gone on to raise sort of $40 million. So a range of experience talking about things they've learned along the way and what to think about when making product manager hires and things like that. March 5th, we'll have remote teams, 12 p.m. Central Time again. So really talking about the challenges and best practices around managing a remote team and culture, both sort of during this sort of pandemic and then after the fact, how things are going to adapt. So the speakers there, we have Amanda Lannert, CEO of Jellyvision. She's a regular face in Chicago Tech events, and I actually heard her speaking on an excellent panel on culture at SaaStr a few years ago as well. So excited to hear from her. Konrad Woloszewski, CEO and co-founder of TripScout. They've been a fully distributed team from the very start, really a globally distributed team. So that's like one extreme of the model, but they've certainly figured it out. Sonia Antelech, Director of People and Legal at the MOM Project. And this panel will be moderated by Kevin Crum, COO of Objective Paradigm. Next up, March 10th, exits, presented by the Toronto Stock Exchange. We're going to hear about different paths to an exit, what it took to get there, lessons learned, really trying to sort of spotlight some Midwest success stories. So we'll hear from Christy Ross, co-CEO and president at Tasty Trade, who just had a $1 billion exit to IG Group. Ryan Kuhn, co-founder and CEO of Avail, who were just acquired by Realtor.com. So a couple of strategic exits there. We'll hear from Aaron Rankin, CTO and co-founder of Sprout Social that IPO'd on the NASDAQ. And George Khalif, VP for the Midwest for the Toronto Stock Exchange, will also be joining us there. On March 12th, sourcing talent. So all about identifying, targeting, winning, and developing the best talent. We'll hear from Suzanne Muchin, co-founder of Bonfire, Elliot Garms, who's a former recruiter, tech recruiter turned co-founder of Human Predictions, which is a tool to help source and vet technical talent. And that'll be moderated by Lindsay Knight, Director of Platform at Chicago Ventures. We have an excellent session on B2B sales with Sales Assembly on March 15th at 12 p.m. Central. It'll be really focused on just how to build your B2B sales engine. So, as you get going as a founder sales and then transition to, the first sort of VP sales hires, really focus on that stage. So that'll be led by Christina Brady, President of Sales Assembly, and Todd Capone, Principal at SalesMelon and best-selling author of The Transparency Sale. And then the grand finale, we're going to have an hour-and-a-half session on March 18th at 12 p.m. Central, really a VC AMA. So we've assembled some of the VCs, really some of the top VCs in the Midwest. So you can ask them anything you'd like. We'll solicit questions in advance. We'll prepare some questions as well. We'll cover B2B and B2C. We'll hear from Mary Grove with Bread and Butter Ventures, Samara Hernandez with Chingona Ventures, partners from Drive Capital, High Alpha, High Park Venture Partners, and M25. And so you'll receive an invitation for that directly from Eventbrite if you've registered for that. That's going to be open only to registered participants. Okay, and so I think a lot of you tuned in to hear more about the platform. So what's new this time? We had a ton of really good feedback on our pilot event in September, but we also heard some common suggestions on how to improve the experience of people. things that people were hoping the platform would do. So we went scouring for a new solution, and we landed on Dealroom, which I believe is making its North American debut with us. So it'll be easier to self-manage, update your profile, easier to self-manage, update your availability. You'll need to log in and complete your profile information to make it possible for people to connect with you, unlike last time where it was sort of pre-populated. But it's going to be easier to connect with each other, contact each other before and after scheduled meetings, reschedule on the fly if things come up, and easier to sort of browse and filter through the attendees and find relevant candidates. The other thing, this is going to be two-way real-time meeting requests. So you'll be able to sort of build your schedule as you go. The matching and scheduling process will be a little bit more involved, but it should result in everyone getting more and better meetings. And then there's also automated meeting reminders so people don't miss their meetings. So you'll get an invite on that tomorrow. And I'll now hand this off to Adal, the co-founder and CEO of Dealroom, who can tell you more about what to expect.
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks a lot. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great event that you're going to have almost in a couple of weeks. So hello, everybody. Good morning to everybody. I will tell about Dealroom, the platform that the Midwest is going to use this year for booking one-on-one meetings. Let me start sharing my screen. There you go. Okay, so basically now you are already registering yourself to the event system, to Eventbrite, the ticketing system, and then once we open the platform, you all will receive an email from the automated email from the Dealroom to come and build up your profile. So you will receive an email that will say, now the platform is on, come build up your platform profiles. So how you do that? You will receive the email. There will be a link on the email. If you have previously used Dealroom, it will open you the login. And then if you are using Dealroom for the first time, you need to click on create account. You put your name, last name, the email. This is the important part, the email that you have used to register to the event. So whatever you put on the Eventbrite, you should use it here. And then any password that you select, you accept the policy, and then you create your account. Once you have created your account, the system will onboard you, ask you the event-specific questions, like if you are an angel investor, if you are a VC, you startup, whatsoever. And then there will be some handful of questions that you need to fill them up. And once you are in, you will be able to see all the people that are coming to, that have registered to the event. On top of your list, you will see the most relevant people to you. Now, once you're in the platform have some buttons. The most important button is going to be the avatar on the right-hand corner. So you need to click on your avatar first to build up your profile. So you click on your avatar, and then you click on edit profile. Here you can upload your own photo, put your name, last name, and then you need to select the time zone. So you type USA, and then you can pick up a closest city to yourself or the city that you live if it's in the list. And then you type your company and answer the questions based on the participant type you are. If you are a startup, the questions are different. If you are a community builder, questions are different. If you are a VC or angel, different questions. So once you have filled up your profile, then the Dealroom will list the most relevant other attendees to you. So let's say if you are a startup looking for a VC that is investing on SaaS platforms, then on top of your list, you will see them. And you can click on any profiles that you see on the list. You can check the details, answers to their questions, and you can either start chatting with them or sending a meeting invitation. What I would suggest, if you're a startup, if you are trying to get an investor meet you, it's better to send a meeting invitation, and on the meeting invitation, type a short message, like 2-3 sentences, not too long. It's not a pitch. You want to just get them to look at your profile and accept your meeting. So once you send a meeting request, then the other party will receive an email from our system. When they log into Dealroom, they will see the notification that someone requests a meeting with them. And then if you are receiving also a meeting invitation, then you either click on proceed, and then if you want to accept it or decline it. So basically you can accept it. Once you accept it, the accepting party gets to choose between available times. Like the system will provide the available time of both of the parties. And then once you accept it, the system will email you the meeting, and it's going to put in your agenda. So under the participants, let me here switch to the event. So basically, when you log into the event, that's what you will see. You will see the most relevant people based on your profile, based on the questions that you answered here under edit profile. You pick up your ticket type and then you answer all these questions, you fill them up, and then you will be able to see other information, the other people's information. So you can either chat, as I said, or sending meeting invitation. So you can either, like for some people that you don't want to see in your list, you can put on the ignore list so that you don't see these people. It's going to be in the ignore list. Or some people you want to contact them later in the future, you can put them in the favorites list, etc. So you can send a meeting invitation, type anything you wish, or you can send them a chat. As simple as that. Once your meetings get accepted, or once you start accepting meetings, here on the agenda, you will see your book meeting. Sorry, your meetings that are booked to your agenda. And one important thing is that, like, based on your time zone, that you may not like to have some meetings, let's say until, let's say 10 p.m., or you want to have a lunch break between 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. For the times that you don't want to book any meetings, I strongly recommend you to put an off time. Like, I don't want to have any meetings between 12 to 13. Unfortunately, the deal room is using the military time, so you need to type 24 time zones. And then once you save it, that the system will not show your availability between 12 to 13 to either parties. So as I said, you will see your program and etc. What I suggest you to do is, if you're a startup, try to send as much as invitations to meet as possible. And a few days before the event, maybe one day before the event, you may want to also check out the invitations that you have sent from here, and then send them a reminder message, a short message. Hey, have you seen my invitation to meet, or do you need further information, and whatsoever. So to follow up and engage them to communicate. And the last point that I would suggest you to do is, in case if you're an investor, you will receive a lot of invitations to meet, and the system, the DRM system, will send you each an email for each invitation. So you may want to go to the notification settings under your avatar and remove this participant meet invitation. The system will be automatically saving it, so you don't receive all the invitations that are sent to you as an email. You can still come to the room, you can see your notifications, you can still see the invitations that are sent to you. If you want to accept it, like, you can just open it and then either chat, further discuss, or decline, or accept. Once you accept, as I said, system will provide you the available time slots of both of you. Now, I guess, as I said, it's a really easy system. First thing, after onboarded, to click on that profile, make sure that you select the correct time zone. You type USA, and then you select the closest city to where you are, or the city that you are in. And then scroll down, put your social media links, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the angel list. And then you can select your ticket type, your participant type. If you are a VC, the question set is different, as I said. If you're a startup, another question set. So it gives us a better opportunity to do the relevance so that you see the most relevant people on top of your list. You send a chat message. I would recommend you to send an meeting invitation and put a short text here, 2-3 sentences maximum, and then follow up with a chat message 1 or 2 days before the event. In case if you have any problem with the platform, you might get confused or something happens, just click on the live support. Here, there will be someone from our team to answer your question or query or anything about the platform. Jonathan, I didn't see the questions. Are there any questions?
We had a couple of questions come in, but I think if people do have questions on Deal Room, please just drop them in the Q&A right now, and we'll address them. But
yep.
To answer the ones that we came up, in terms of accessing the event platform or registering the event, register at midwest.tech if you haven't already. Through there, you'll link through to our Eventbrite. Sign up there, and then Deal Room is integrated with Eventbrite. So you will be, anyone that's registered through Eventbrite will receive the invitation to come and log in on Deal Room. There was another question on the recordings of the programming. We will record all the sessions. We'd love to kind of capture that content. We're not going to sort of immediately post them. So if you do want to sort of hear the content sooner, try and join if you can. And obviously it's more fun, frankly, when there's people engaging and asking questions. So do try and join for that. We will, we'll try and share this presentation as well, just so people that weren't able to join today can kind of come in and figure out how to use it as well. But the thing we love about Deal Room, it does everything I think we were looking for last time, and it's pretty straightforward to use. So I think the few tips, Erdal's obviously encouraging everyone to sort of spam everyone. Like, I get why that sort of does work in terms of finding people. If you want to initially perhaps focus a little bit, just to be like less spammy on the investors, that they might appreciate that. But definitely make sure you create a compelling profile, right? Spend a few minutes in your business description. Make it clear like what you do, what problem you're solving, what your business model is, and think of that almost like a little sales pitch, a little sort of elevator pitch to talk about any traction you have, just so people have a better feel of where you're at before they've even sort of taken the meeting. Because I think as people are sort of dealing with the volume, they're going to be filtering not just on what you're doing, but also sort of how far along you are. And then, Erdal, you're going to sort of talk through the filters a little bit.
Yep. Basically, in Deal Room, if you want to filter, as I don't know, like VCs or angels, or if you are a startup that you want to filter the investor, if you want to filter the startups, so you click on the filter and then you select the first participant type. Like the question was about the incubators and accelerators and community partners. And then when you click on apply, you will see all the incubators, accelerators. When the information starts pulling in, and when people fill up their information, you can review them and then see what's more relevant to you. And you can clear your lists. You can go create another list of answers. Right now, as I said, nobody really got access to the platform, so the information is not pulled out, but you can filter with all these questions that have been asked and then narrow down, or you can just use a free text search, and then it will give you the free text search like you are using in Google. And the meeting day, the 3 days that you're going to have back-to-back meetings, they're going to all happen in Deal Room. So you are not going to use another platform. You will go and click on your agenda, and in your agenda, when you have the meeting, you will see, that's my son. Let's get to here. So program tab, and that's going to be your personal agenda. So you will see your meetings here. If you want someone else to also join your meeting in your team or some other venture or whatever, so you can just simply, once the meeting is booked to your agenda, you can add guests, and it will also populate into the agenda of the guests. And you can have like the meetings up to 10 people. In the Deal Room, 2 people are booking the meeting, and then by adding guests, you can have up to 10 people, the whole meeting. So basically, when the time comes, you're gonna click on Start Meeting, and then Deal Room is gonna populate the new screen with the conference side of ours. It will ask you to allow the camera and the audio. Once you allow the camera and the audio, you will get into the meeting room. Your meeting is gonna be 25 minutes, and Deal Room is gonna give you extra additional 2 minutes bonus. So you have to wrap up the meeting in maximum 27 minutes. Once the 27 minutes is done, Deal Room will disconnect you right away so that you can go to your next meeting, because lots of people are going to have back-to-back meetings, and we want to make sure that meetings are wrapped up on time and you're not late to the next meeting. So that's the platform. When you get into the lobby of the conference site, you can check your camera settings, you can check your audio settings. We strongly recommend you to use a hardwired headset, especially if you have back-to-back meetings, because Bluetooth, there's usually a delay and there's like connection issues and etc. So hardwired connection is always the best, and you can check your settings, the cameras and etc. So once all is set, you click on join, and we again strongly recommend you to use desktop computers for better and efficient meetings. However, if you are not able to use a desktop, you can still use the mobile interface of Deal Room. It will still connect you. And once you are in the meeting, basically you have these functions that you can turn off your camera, turn off your audio. You can screen share if you have a small short video, like 2-3 minutes videos on an MP4 format on your local drive. And you can click on little guy here, little button here, that the system will automatically stream your video to the other party, so the other party will see and hear. And when you are either screen sharing or sharing a video from your computer, the system will centralize the screen share or the video, and then you will see each other on the side. Once there is no screen share, etc., so both of you are gonna be in the center of the meeting. So please make sure that your cameras and etc. are working intact, and you can always check it out. And also, we have seen cases that people that are using Zoom before the meetings or Microsoft Teams before the meetings, although you think that the Zoom or Microsoft Teams is closed, they don't release your camera. So make sure these applications are killed totally, or for Windows systems, put your computer to sleep and wake it up. Everything should be normal. And in Mac, I think, again, putting it on the sleep and waking up is solving the problem. I'm a Windows user. And in case you have any problems with your audio or video, you can always, we will send you the instructions on how to troubleshoot, how to change your settings. However, you can still contact us using the live support, and our team can instruct you how to enable it. But it's going to be like most of the time here on top, there's a camera button. You click on it, and then you will see if you have given proper accesses or not.
Awesome.
And Jonathan, one last thing, again, for the camera issues, there might be some companies that their firewalls or VPNs are not allowing the cameras because we are using WebRTC. So in case you realize that your company is not allowing, you either need to get out of your company network, or you can still chat with the other party that's on the meeting. You can send the link of the meeting tool that your company is using. Like, I'm not able to use this tool. Can you come to Zoom or Skype or whatever?
That's great. Yeah, I think last time it worked for 95% of people, but if it you do have issues, then I think one thing I love about this is you can connect with each other, chat with each other directly, and sort of figure out a workaround real time. So if it works for 95% of people, 95% of the time, I think that'll be a good outcome. We had a few questions come in, asking, are there all the calls on Zoom using Deal Room? Like, no, as I'll just sort of walk through, they're going to be in the platform, but it is going to be more like a sort of private Zoom experience. Last time we sort of had a more like a virtual event ballroom situation, which was fun, and it made it feel like an event, but there were people that would sort of come into your meetings in the middle. So this is much more of a private one-on-one experience. Other questions? What are the required investment materials to house in our profile? Everything's optional. What we ask for on the startup side are things like, if you want to indicate your you can supply a website if you have one. You can supply your pitch deck link if you have one. You might use DocSend or Dropbox or Box or Google Drive for that. Revenue. So what revenue range are you at if you're comfortable disclosing that? How much capital you've raised so far if you're comfortable disclosing that? Descriptive tags in terms of what you're in, what stage you're at, so pre-seed, seed, Series A, etc. Within pre-seed, even you can say if you're still idea stage or if you're post-revenue. So lots of things which investors will either be sort of open to or not open to, or they might prioritize certain types over others initially. So spend some time just being thoughtful around that. And again, I think adding a little bit of color on where you're at, it's just going to help people just sort of make sure everyone's on the same page in terms of where you're at. Go through
Jonathan, there are a few questions that I will pick up, if you don't mind. Okay, will the investors be requesting meetings with companies directly? Being involved in many events, that I know that yes, especially the companies, if they're like personal profiles that they build up in the platform, I have seen startups requesting meeting invitations from investors, and angel investors also send a lot of invitations. So that's one thing. How do investors filter companies? That's a really amazing question, because investors, they will receive a couple of hundred, maybe hopefully a couple of hundred meetings to invitations to meet. And in Deal Room, we have this amazing filter. We call it Magic List. So if you're an investor, if you receive like 40, 50, or 100 invitations to meet, we suggest you to click on the filters and then click on the Magic List and then click on the received. Right now, there's going to be none. But then when you get the received list, so you will see all the invitations that you have received, and Deal Room will be sorting them by the relevance. So it will help you a little bit on how you can filter out from the invitations that are sent to you. Another question is startups with multiple founders. As I said, send the invitation, other party accepts it, and once your invitation is accepted, you can add your other partners or your team members to the meeting as a guest.
Awesome.
Are there any other question I skipped, missed? No?
Yeah, someone like Ravi asked, is it possible to create our profile here even if we have not yet registered or incorporated the company yet? Yes, you can. I mean, I think there's no sort of legal formation requirements. I think just sort of, say what stage you're at, and as long as you have an email address, you can access the event. So that one's fine. Someone asked if you can filter accelerators on the platform by funded and unfunded. That's a great suggestion. Maybe we'll incorporate that next time. I think, as far as I'm aware, everyone on the platform so far is a sort of dollar component funded accelerator. If that's something that's really important to you, you could probably just ask them in the chat quickly before you sort of schedule a meeting, just to sort of find out that answer. So that's a great point for next time. Yeah, I think just make sure if you're going to send out 100 meeting requests, I would suggest, if you're a SaaS company, find all the SaaS investors and hit those up. If I'm not a SaaS investor and I'm receiving SaaS founder invites, that's going to annoy me a little bit. But I think just make sure you're requesting meetings with people who are at least sort of somewhat relevant. I guess on that point as well, Erdal, if people find the sort of email notifications overwhelming, how do they sort of tone those down?
Yeah, let's go ahead one more time. So basically, right-hand corner, your picture or your avatar, and then notification settings, and uncheck the participant meet invitation. Others will not really overwhelm them. Make sure that you do not uncheck the meeting reminder, like the email and SMS. And you're putting your profile, put your phone number as +1 and then your city code, your carrier code, so that you also receive an SMS to remind you that in 1 hour you have a meeting with this person. And once you uncheck these messages, the system will automatically save it and you will not receive these kind of meeting invitations and etc.
Great. So if you do turn them off, I would understand why you would do that, but then make sure you do come in and check periodically on your meeting requests. Don't leave people hanging.
Yep.
Excellent. Any other questions from anyone? In that case, yeah, I think, Erdal and I will probably just do one final check and make sure we're ready to go live. So, later today, or certainly by tomorrow, you'll receive the invitation. We'll open it up, and yeah, feel free to contact Deal Room directly if you have any technical support issues, if you have issues logging in, anything like that. And otherwise, please sign up at midwest.tech/programming. We'd love to see you at all of these upcoming events we're doing. If you have any suggestions, contact us at support@midwest.tech. And yeah, look forward to this event.
Yeah, once we roll out the Deal Room, please check out your inboxes, your spam folders or social folders. There are lots of investors, they also filter out the HTML-rich emails, so they might be going to some special folders that you might have put some rules. So
that's a great quote. What email address should people add to their contacts to make sure they receive?
The system will send the email. Let me type it here. astridalto@dealroomevents.com. Right. So the emails will come from this nice lady. She's a Nordic lady from Europe.
Excellent. Did you put that in the chat just now? Did you put that in the chat, Adele?
Yeah, I put on the chat.
Ah, it just came through. Great. Awesome. So yeah, we'll try and make sure everyone has that. I think there may be some spam issues initially. You sign up for this event, please go make sure you're receiving the event emails and they're not getting lost.
Yeah, and then in case it doesn't happen, I'm sure that, Jonathan, you will be also doing some emailing from the Eventbrite, from the platform that you are using for mailing.
That's right. Yeah, on the deal room component, people primarily hear from us through deal room. On the programming and other things, we'll send reminders through we use ActiveCampaign, but you'll hear support at midwest.tech. You'll hear from as well. So please just train your email to receive our emails, and make sure you read them. We'll be sending out important updates as we go. We had one last question from Helen here. If you can't make some of the meetings and you want to access the recordings, we'll record them. I think we'll try and figure out the right cadence, but we will be sort of posting them to a YouTube channel we have. You can see our prior recordings if you go to midwest.tech/learn, or go to midwest.tech and click on it. You'll see everything from our sort of original event back in September, August. So we'll be posting stuff, and we'll make sure we include those in our emails if people are interested in catching up on that content.
Yeah, and one more thing, the recordings, the one-on-one meetings you're going to have in deal room, they are not recorded. Great. So they are encrypted, it's yours, it's business confidential, and once the meeting is done, everything is gone.
Awesome.
So, and the system will not allow you to have conflicting meetings. Like, the system will not have 2 meetings at the same time for the same person, as long as you are not added as a guest.
Got it, that's great. Awesome. Well, any other questions, please get in touch. And thanks, Adele, for taking the time to walk us through this. We're excited to use this. I know you've done this a few times in Europe for events just like this. So excited to bring this to the Midwest.
Great. So have a great day and keep healthy.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Cheers.